1,289 volunteers, serving 1,220 clients, over 102,075 hours of service. So altogether, that's 509 volunteers serving over 2,500 youth and adults, over 581 hours. And then you are part of an even bigger picture of AmeriCorps senior volunteers nationally. Nationally, there are 140,000 AmeriCorps senior volunteers serving 47 million hours to strengthen our communities. And this would not be possible without you all. Our program model isn't possible without you all. It really depends on our volunteers and the service that you are doing every day in the communities with your clients and the young people. So thank you for that. And it's just great to be here with you all, celebrating, recognizing the service. Thanks. Thank you.
Like Carolyn said, we are part of a bigger picture when we think about just Minnesota and then the United States in general. And I too have a bunch of numbers to throw at you. So AmeriCorps Seniors sends out a survey, and last year when they did the survey, they found that people who volunteer after 2 years of service, 84% found stable or improving health. So it's not just the people that you're helping that get the benefit, but when you volunteer yourself, you actually have a better health. 78% of people who said they felt depressed in the past say that they would have fewer symptoms of depression, and 88% who felt a lack of companionship no longer feel isolated. So it's not only are you helping those in the community, but you're helping yourself by getting out. 2 out of 3 people who volunteer say they do it to make a difference, and what a difference you make. I added up the hours that people have served in this room, and then we have a few people that couldn't be with us today. Just in our area in southeastern Minnesota in the 11 counties, we have over 165 years of service if you add them all together. So yeah, that deserves applause. That's good. Very good. Last year alone, the volunteers in this area, which mainly are here in this room, served over 13,131 hours. So,
Yes, chicken tenders at the staff here?
Yes, chicken tenders. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Hassan. Chicken
So,
strips. Hassan.
we're going to break for the food, and then whenever they...
Ahmed.
Linda, you had chicken tenders? Yes. Linda's there with the...
Ahmed had chicken tenders. Yes. Chicken. Khalid. Saeed behind you had chicken. Wonderful. Omar had chicken. And then Mohammed Sheikh had camera had chicken. So
So
just
I
put
think
his
he's
on
sitting
right here, I guess.
Stay.
And Hussein, right here.
It was in June. Yep. I retired just when.
Go ahead and start eating. While if your meal is here, we will just take a break for the program and you can go ahead. Like I said, it's going to triangle and hot.
And in long-term care for seniors, FaceTime or something like that to your dime.
There's more food coming.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I thought maybe they were waiting. Yeah, I thought maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what we got tonight.
And then Steve, what past him? Does anyone else have a walleye? Not okay. Burger right here. The lady needs a third. Sandy, you have a third too.
I didn't get my salad.
Salad and I'll get Carol. And you talked to burger. Oh, okay, but you didn't want cheese on it,
She said
right?
no cheese on her.
Okay.
So no one is missing a burger? I guess you're one of the minority.
When you give a chance.
Salad and chicken. It was a Latin chicken salad with tortilla strips, different things.
Salads are good.
Yeah,
I'm sure
there's
it's
several here that I really like.
Yeah.
Salads and
Pardon? Oh, yeah. I sat out on the patio, which is nice when it's a beautiful day, nice out there. The guys all get meat delivered to the field today.
Well, I made all those before I left.
You did that, nice. So here you come.
They pack their bags
Oh.
at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Big sub sandwiches.
Yeah, to go out to the field because they're planting.
I'm glad they can kind of get through the I know. Really good drink.
It's really still not too bad. You know, it's the first of May, so if they can get a lot done this week, they'll be fine.
I don't know. This is 70.
Need one almost cherry yet?
Buying flowers to plant. I think it's a huge. It can.
spring flowers, tulips and daffodils.
I live in a town home, so we have daylilies that come out.
You just wiggle.
No,
Really don't.
I usually go and buy, some pots.
They're just starting with my daffodils. Weeks ago when it was supposed to snow on Saturday. I went out there to look at them, there was two of them that had buds on them. Just buds, you know, look like a new well. And I knew it was gonna snow, so I put them in one tree. I've done that 3 times. I've been enjoying my days. They're really slow.
Are you still alive?
Daylilies.
probably on his own for lunch today then.
Yeah, I was gonna take it at Christmas if I could.
Oh, is he for Stuart Village? Okay. Those are neat too. I know in Rochester they were great. Okay.
So he's taking a trip. He was good. But he's taking a trip. Yeah, no, I was busy. That's why I had to check out the sports.
Yeah, exactly. I lived in Rochester and this town 8 years. We had a big home in Zanesville. It was just too much to take care of. Sold that. So when he drives buses, he goes in the morning and then there's a break until.
Yeah, he drives every morning. And then,
You guys all good? You don't need maxes? Okay. I think this is what I had last year.
I don't think I've had this one before.
Everyone have a good drive up. You guys stay in a little ways.
So you have the sun.
And how far did you come in? Oh, okay, okay. So you had a similar drive. That always makes it so much better.
I wrote down the instructions.
That was smart.
And then when I got in the car to go today, I also so I went and when I got over, we just got that too.
You know, you are.
Yes, thank you.
They've been arrested Walmart for shoplifting. And an automatic license plate reader was running in their car, and they did scan license plates that they drive through. And it showed up as just
You don't need that one? I can clear it if you're done. Yeah, thank you. Looks good.
either I come to Minneapolis, you know, or they go and I can be here in a half an hour
I still got some.
I was just thinking about that actually. I was like, I haven't even tasted chicken. What's that?
It's on the bucket.
An interesting way to do it.
It's good, thank you. It adds up. I just thought here, but I guess I found this
I thought maybe I would have won the whole chicken.
I've never hit that myself.
McDonald's Bay. Not a lot. I always leave $20 in the car just because you just don't know if you're gonna, you know, all right, yeah. Everything else is my grandkids' big. No, my grandchild. Not yet. She's just turning 2
So he's bottom of the totem pole, working his way back up, but now he's actually bottom of the
Sometimes I think you could make the serving just a little bit. Oh my gosh. When they walk I know. There's just a lot of food insecurity.
Our dog is putting in our bed, children.
Where does it take in the summer? Really? I'm surprised, especially with them being so big, that they would do that.
And I don't know what time.
Yeah.
Oh, Five West has fantastic food, don't they?
Yes.
Yes, they have been very gracious and very good to work with, so if you're looking for a place to come have lunch sometime or dinner, or they have a fantastic breakfast too. They've got a cinnamon French toast that is to die for, so. Anyway, just keep this place in mind, 'cause the west side of Rochester has grown so much in the last few years. I was born and raised in this town, so it's always interesting to see how much the side of town has grown. But, all right, I threw a bunch of numbers at you. This part is when we're going to do our certificates. If you have served for 2, 3, or 5 years, there will be a pin in your envelope with your certificate. The two ladies that are celebrating their 15 and 20 years will save those till the very end and have, they get a nice plaque and things suitable for framing. So, without further ado, I have these done by towns and groups. So, Bluffview Elementary is our first one. And would you like to come up, or would you just rather I bring the things to you? Linda, you're the first one to start, so do you want to? All right.
You started off.
All right.
The chairs on my own.
Linda has been serving at Bluffview Elementary in Lake City for 5 years.
Thank you.
Wow. And then also at Bluffview Elementary, we have Carol Thompson, and Carol just signed up.
I don't think it's working since February.
Oh, but I was just gonna say that, right before I got ready to go on my trip to Thailand, we had Carol signed up and started, and I could just bring it to you.
Oh, I wasn't expecting it anything. How nice. You got a lunch.
And a certificate.
Thank you, Joyce, and I'm enjoying it.
Good. I'm still working on a summer program.
I know it, and I've been looking around too, so you can call it, but yeah, I know that. But we'll talk. Where?
The present. It would be a little bit of a drive.
Oh, there we go. Yes, okay. Thanks, anyway.
Bonner Elementary School in Stewartville. Linda Pendry, you have been serving now for 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Thank you.
Head Start in Austin. Darla has been with us for a year in our area, and Darla and I were just talking, and I know that when she came from Iowa, that we didn't get her years of service added, so I already forgot what county it was. Polk County, okay. That's one thing when Carolyn talked about having the AmeriCorps Seniors Program around the United States, because I know like Linda moved from South Carolina? Virginia, okay. And she had served down there too, so we were able to add the hours that she was there, the years that she was there, in with our service time here. In the Crescent, Hoka Elementary School, we will recognize Barb in a few minutes, and she's hitting a milestone, but Nancy Brown has been serving for 13 years. Oh, did the horse have the, no, okay, she's got a horse that's pregnant, so.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been watching that.
We're all on babies.
Yeah. All right, from the Rochester Math and Science Academy, I have Hassan Abdali. He has been serving for 4 years. Abato Asher, 2. So she's got a pin. Muhammad Sheikh, you're at 14.
Thank you.
And Hussein Youssef, you're at 13 years. math, and science. That's the high school side of it. These two gentlemen have both been serving for 3 years, so they have a pin inside also. Osman Raleigh. And Hussein Omar. All right, and then SASA, the Somali American Social Service Association. Omar is here with that. He's our lead person there. And you have quite a few volunteers there. So, Mohammed Afra, I will leave that with you. Yeah, because he came and then Ahmed Hassan. Ahmed has been serving for 1 year. Ali, you just signed up, so. Yeah, she began serving in February. Saeed. Saeed has been serving for 4 years. 1 year, and Hussein Sobri. And then the other place in Rochester is the Women's Shelter, and we'll recognize Janine in a few minutes too, because she celebrated 15 years this year. The Lutheran Social Service also has a program called Neighbor to Neighbor, where people, it's like a senior companion program. And Beth was actually the first volunteer that I got to meet when I started last winter, so thank you, Beth. Beth is Verdalen. Okay, I pronounced that wrong for the longest time, so. And then our other senior companions. Senior companions help keep senior citizens in their homes, so they're out visiting. Sandy Frederick has served now for 12 years. And Sandy's from Austin. Chris Illa is in Cannon Falls, and she serves at the Cannon River Senior Living up there. Chris has been serving now for 9 years. She was at the elementary school for a while. Peggy is brand new. She started in August. And Peggy Beardum is from, did I pronounce that right? Close. I can spell it better than I got, because you told me how to spell it. How is it pronounced? Beardum. Beardum, okay. Peggy has been serving since August. And then two of the senior companions here in Rochester both have their 5 years this year, so they will have a pin here. Stu Gary. All right, Jeannie, if you would come up, and we have had, Jeannie is with the Rochester Women's Shelter, and she has had Janine serving there for 15 years, so she will talk a little bit about, and then also in your program too, if you noticed that you recently had a foster grandmother who was at the Rochester Women's Shelter who passed away, Geraldine Hackman.
Yes.
And I printed off.
I read that.
Yeah,
Wow.
she was 102.
Oh my God.
And she passed away on Christmas Day, so I printed her picture and a little bit about her life from the obituary, so I will just start passing that down. But anyway, Jeannie.
Well, thank you all for participating in what you do. It's amazing the impact that you all have. And I know at the Women's Shelter, Jerry, Grandma Jerry, worked with our program for a total of 18 years as a foster grandparent. She retired from our program at 97 years old. And she's been in contact with us. We invited her back for her 100th birthday, and so she could celebrate with all of us at the shelter. And the people that come in and do foster grandparent care with the children at the shelter participate with children from birth to age 18 in the different activities that we do. And so they provide educational support, and it really supports the parents that are in shelter because they're going through so much. And their kids aren't going to be okay till they're okay. So our foster grandparents are critical in supporting those kiddos so that the mom can go take a shower or that mom can go make a couple of phone calls. And so the grandparents are playing games, they're rocking and reading stories. They attend some of our field trips out in the community, and as well as doing some of our community education booths where we have children's activities there for the kids to do. And so it's really a gift that you guys participate in our program. We also have Janine Green, who has been with us now for 16 years as a foster grandparent, but she began as one of our volunteers and volunteered for about 4 years before she became a foster grandparent. So she's also been with us for a long time. Janine, would you like to stand up to be recognized? Very nice. We're so glad to have you there. I'm going to tell you a little story about Grandma Jerry. One day she was sitting in the dining area early in the morning, and the kids getting up for school and getting ready will come and have their breakfast at the table. And she had her hands there on the table. And one of the kids came and rubbed their finger across her hand. And they were amazed, you know, her veins were kind of sticking out a little bit. And then the little one pointed at her face and said, "Does that hurt?" Because she was very wrinkled at 97, right? And she said, she laughed and laughed, and she said, "No, it doesn't hurt, but you can touch it." You know, so this little one, and Jerry was known for her serenades. She loved to sing, and you could be anywhere in our shelter building, and all of a sudden Jerry would just start singing, and everybody would move to the dining area, and we'd have an impromptu sing-along. And one of her special times at the shelter was our children's Christmas party. And she had a special love for Santa when Santa would come. And we always kept Santa a secret. She'd say, "I have to go, I have to go." And I said, "Where do you have to go?" "Shh, it's a secret." And so she'd sneak away from the dining room and walk all the way over to the shelter so she could have a few minutes with Santa before the kids all arrived. So, you know, it's been great both for the foster grandparents and for our whole shelter program. They support our staff, and they provide so much extra to the children in shelter. So we very much appreciate all that you do.
And for Janine, we have a certificate here and a nice plaque that says 15 years. So. And I won't make you get up. Do you want to just take that back through? So. So yes, so Grandma Jerry stopped serving at 97 when she got too old or just physically unable to do it. So I'm looking around this room thinking we got a ways to go till 97. So you got a few good years left in you. There is no maximum age for a volunteer with us. So. All right, and then Beth is with the Crescent School District. And we have the two volunteers down there, Nancy and Barb. And Barb is celebrating her 20 years. So I'll let you
My name is Beth Thied, and I am the Director of Community Education for La Crescentoka Public Schools. And when I started, this is the end of my 11th school year working for the district. I was told about this. Oh, and by the way, you're in charge of the foster grandparents program. What's that? I had never heard of it before. And then I was introduced to these lovely ladies, Grandma Barb and Grandma Nancy. And at the time when I started, I had 3 young children, one in kindergarten and one in preschool and one still in daycare. And when, it used to be I'd call the teachers and we'd find what time that Grandma Barb would go to this room and this room. I'm not kidding you when I tell you teachers fight over these ladies. They fight. They're like, well, why can't I have Grandma Barb? And why can't I have Grandma Nancy? So the people that have been lucky enough to be chosen by these ladies they're sad they can't be here, but they're still in the classrooms with their children today. Great story about Barb. One of my favorites will always be from my oldest, who is now a sophomore in high school. I said, you know, we were talking about her. It was her second grade year. We were talking about one of the teachers that had just, I think, retired or something. I said, oh, well, you know, isn't it wonderful that this teacher really taught, no, isn't it wonderful that Mrs. Getzinger taught you how to read? Mrs. Getzinger didn't teach me how to read. I said, oh, really? Grandma Barb did. Don't tell Mrs. Getzinger. So what Barb does, in addition to her official volunteering with foster grandparents, is she volunteers even more during the summer. She comes to and 2 days a week after school as well, she comes to our Kids Company school-age child care program. And boy, if it's your day to read with Grandma Barb, it is your day. Because for years, I have begged her to allow me to purchase all the candy for the children, and she will never allow me to. She has what I call her candy tackle box. If you can imagine, you know, one of those little plastic containers with all the dividers, she has candy rewards in there for the children as they come and read with them. They'll come into the room and read with her, they'll read their book. I have never, and Barb, she keeps notes on where these kids are at, what book they're reading, what level they're reading, and then at the end of their time together, she gives them the card saying, here's all the books you read this summer. I've never met a woman like Barb in my life. I'm gonna cry. She has a heart of gold, remembers and knows every single one of these children that she has worked with, and remembers them all. And remembers them all by name, remembers when they're taking special trips, remembers when they have special events coming up in their lives. And there are so many kids out there in the world that don't have that special connection with someone like Barb or all of you. And for all the work you all do, thank you so much. And Barb, Nancy, from the bottom of my heart, we love you both. And can't wait to have 20 more years with you.
Here's a napkin.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Dab, dab.
So,
This one.
yep.
Okay.
And this one is actually in the shape of the.
Ooh,
Minnesota.
oh good, she's coming up.
Oh, good. Look at that.
Here, you come over here. I want to take a picture with Joyce too. I love you. Here, you take this and stand with Joyce. I can get you a picture if you don't mind.
Okay, we'll take it out of the.
Except my phone's back here.
It is interesting when I go to La Crescent and meet with these ladies, that we have a little room that we made in that's all glassed. So it's, yeah. I kind of feel like the monkey in the zoo because everybody's walking by and they're all like tapping on the glass, waving it, you know.
Well, you're sitting in there with celebrities. That's why.
That's what I know they're not looking for me because, yeah.
All right, look here at me, Joyce and Barb. Excellent. I'll have some good ones to choose from.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you want the plastic mark?
Director of Community Education, so I get to run the preschool, which Nancy gets to work in, and La Crescent Hoka.
And that's where?
Right across the river from La Crosse, so we're downriver from you in Lake City. Take the river road all the way down.
I'll think about it. Right now, I'm concentrating on Minnesota.
Oh, we're still in Minnesota.
No, La Crescent is Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah, just across the bridge from La Crosse.
I see, okay.
All right, I will not be meeting with you since this is our May lunch. up some agendas, if you would just please pass them down. Just a couple of things. Your mileage that it took you to get here, that is part of your service time, so just make sure to claim your mileage to get here. And your time, this was 11:30, I have no idea what time it is now, 1 o'clock. So it's 2 hours, by the time you get out of here, it'll be 2 hours. So just make sure you put down 2 hours on your training for today too. We've talked about this a lot the last few meetings, but when you're writing your time, make sure that you're rounding to the quarter hour. So 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, either write a quarter, a half, whatever. Just make sure you're rounding to the quarter hour. And then something I just learned myself this week is that mileage should always be rounded to the nearest whole mile. They don't like, anyway, it doesn't work well. So if it's 2.4 miles, we always round up. So round up to 3. If it's, whatever it is, as long as you go over that 0.1, which your odometer doesn't usually show that, it's by 0.2 of a mile. But always round up to the next whole mile for mileage. A little bit about AmeriCorps seniors on the agenda, the stipend time off. I usually try to watch the time for that, so just know though that once you hit 80 hours, you don't gain anymore. So it's, I do have the list here if you want to check, but it's also listed on your stipend statement that's mailed to your home. Our grant year ends June 30th, so we need to get down to at least 20 hours by June 30th. So just make sure that you're using it, and if you have that circumstance, I will check with you and just make sure, because we can't carry over any more than 20 hours into the next fiscal year. It is an expectation of our program that you attend 2 hours of training a month. So we've talked a lot about different types of trainings you can do, but if you have any questions, I have books, I have websites, I have things I can direct you to, but really, if you're watching something, and I know I was just talking to Barbara, she was saying there was a real interesting thing on PBS about elephants. If you watch something on TV and you think, well, but if you watch it and you think, that's interesting, I should share that with someone, or the next time you read a book about elephants with your kids at school, and you can throw in a fact that you learned, or that too is training hours, so it's pretty open as to what kind of things you would like to do. Otherwise, I think most of it are things we've had before. I didn't save myself a copy, of course. Paperwork, it has to get in at the same time. And then the last thing I would just like to say is that we are always looking for more volunteers, so if you know anyone that would like to join us, send them my way. This program is across the state, it's across the nation, so if you know somebody in another state, another part of the country, another part of Minnesota, whatever, just let me know, and we would love to have you join us and be a part of the program. There is a gift for our foster grandparents and senior companions as you leave. There's a blanket that we ordered for you this year, so I will be here handing them out as you leave, but I just want to, there's a little poem that we tucked inside of it, and as we close today, I just want to finish with this. Carolyn, actually, do you have anything to add before we? Okay. All right. So I'll just read this little poem. It says, valuable is the work you do, outstanding how you always come through. Loyal, sincere, and full of good cheer, untiring of efforts throughout the year. Notable are the contributions you make, trustworthy in every project you take. Eager to blanket the world in heart, compassionate, wonderful, and oh so smart. So you'll have this blanket So thank you for your most precious gift. There's only so much time we have to give, and I know you could be doing many other things rather than being here with our program. So I just want to say I appreciate that. And we do too. So, all right. We do not have May side meetings, and then the newsletter will come out with the information for June. Does anybody have any questions, anything before we? I mean, you're welcome to stay for a bit and visit and do whatever. When you take the chocolate, those garlic fries are kind of, people in your car might appreciate it if you try this out. Yes, yeah, if you'd like, there are some pens here. Go ahead and grab them off the table, and then the blankets too.